Heyo, we're back. Isn't that a surprise?
Okay.
Guys, welcome back. We are doing some more Removing the Mathis Curse. After a long way of being away, we're back. And we're excited.
And then we'll take another 2-month hiatus.
Yeah, exactly. Are we ready, guys?
JK.
Just kidding.
We're not taking a 2-month hiatus. We're taking a 9-week vacation.
I'll see
Do I
you
actually
in
get to
Tahiti.
leave?
Catch us in Tahiti, okay? We're going there.
It's a magical place.
Yeah, it is. So, I'm going to basically introduce myself. I'm Nick, and I play Kick 6 Mantra. And I'm gonna spice him the fuck up tonight. So
he's feeling sassy tonight.
Alright, let's go.
If I had a fan, I'd clack it right now, but I'm good with that. I'm gonna pass it to someone else because I want to get their character going. Roz.
Oh, come on. So basically, my name is August Ibarra. I see dead people, and I really want a ghost monkey, but I'm not allowed to have one. Anyway.
Not with that attitude, Missy.
Yeah. I'm not allowed to have one.
Hey, I have inspiration. I didn't know that.
Oh.
Unless I just clicked that on accident.
Okay, right. And I'm Kevin. I'll be playing Bosco. He is a former familiar, golden retriever, all around good boy,
Good.
and agent for the Celestial Bureau of Familiar Affairs, who also knows a guy who may be able to get a ghost monkey.
I do love ghost monkeys.
I've heard that.
And this is Jesus.
And then we just need to figure out who Derek is.
Well, today I'm... Oh, wait, I can't say that because that will ruin the whole thing. My name's Derek, and this is kind of the... It's a little hard to say I run anything, as Kevin often says. I'm just here to occasionally interject something that might be a rule and roll a number and just let the rest of them just things happen. It's free play. It's free play. That's
of course.
No. So where we are from the last series of events that happened, you can check out the long form of this on YouTube. We have all the episodes back, but the short and sweet of this is the group arrived at Rustgrave, and when they got there, things were a little strange. They were attacked by infernal cookies. They found some weird fungus. They dealt with a woman who turned to sand, and eventually then they left the town heading up north to Antwerp to find the last of the Mathis's Melody and to try to convince her to sell off her property before she is murdered or imprisoned or something. They're a firm belief that something dastardly might happen to her, and I think there's enough evidence to support that might be a very true fact. Along the way, they met Taika, who's not here today, but they also dealt with some possessed dwarves and found some weird coins that were minted in the Abyss. They found some references to the demon goddess of fungus and mold. And where we find them now is on the road, just a few hours short of Antwerp, and just probably about they're close to this main road right now, but probably about 200 feet off to the western side, there are a dozen or so brightly colored tents. And every so often from these brightly colored tents, there are plumes of blue and gold and red that just shoot out from the tops of these tents, go into the sky, and they come out um, this cloud of smoke that for a very brief second appears to be a monster or a hero or something, and then it fades away quickly. That you have a feeling, given that there is a bit of a breeze now and a little bit of a rain in the air, that had there not been this moisture and this breeze, this effect that you're seeing of these things would last much longer. It'd be more vibrant and everything. Down below these tents, there are tons of people gathered around the various edges of these tents, and they seem to be watching things. It's very hard to see what's in these tents from where you're at, because you're just greeted by this stack of people all around this stuff. And even from this great distance, you can smell a variety of things. They just come through the air, and you think it's actually it's a little magically enhanced to come your way, but you can smell like it smells like there's cinnamon and uh, like a pepperminty smell to the air, and you also smell like roasting meat and things that just generally hit you and induce like a hunger that you have not felt, for a while. Bosco, it's even more so for you, because you can sense this whole big thing of, you can pick out like a few of the individual scents that are there, and they have like 6 or 7 different preparations of boar. That it's just boar that it's made with different things. It's very clear to you, and you just, in general, from where you're at, you hear a mix of laughter, clapping, and the occasional scream of excitement. It's
August, should we stop here for lunch?
Yes.
I don't know about you, but this food is smelling hella good. And I'm not liking this hella wet weather right now.
Do you think they have deep fried Twinkies?
Oh my god.
Anything is possible.
Yes. Yes.
and there's one other kind of strange thing from where you're sitting, where you're standing right now. Sorry, on the way to the road. There's the circle of tents, these brightly colored tents. There's all these smells and sounds and everything, and like you said, around you there's like a light drizzle and everything. But like in the center of this center of tents, you see just one cloud hanging above this one area, and it's snowing just in that spot.
Can we go to the cloud?
Oh my god, yes.
I want to dance underneath it.
Is this cloud basically just over the tent, or is it like a little bit away from the tent?
Well, as you get closer, you can see that the tents are kind of circling this central area, and the cloud is above this central area. And as you do get closer, through the crowds and through moving around the edges, you start to see that there are ice sculptures there. Somebody is making giant blocks of ice, and then they are within the snow. They are carving them. There's on one of the blocks right now, there's a series of dwarves with like climbing gear and like cleated boots and little hatchets, and they're just chopping out bits and pieces of this massive block of ice that looks like they're carving a dragon out of this block of ice.
This is a fucking these are fucking ice golems. I just know it. Shit's gonna attack us. I don't trust it.
And we're just gonna put this out there. Snow cones.
It's just a farm show, guys. Let's go.
I'm gonna be like really, really just like doubtful / like hesitant about everything here, cause I don't fucking trust no goddamn ice sculptures looking this good. It looks better than me, and that makes me upset.
Okay, Fireboy.
What the fuck?
Can I also can I get a perception check from everybody?
Yeah, fucking
Is the cloud alive?
First of the night.
Perception, you said?
Hold on, I have to get them all out of my tower.
It's okay.
I got an 8.
Herpes.
You're too busy worrying about whether that ice statue is going to come alive and try to eat you to
Bro,
actually
I swear
perceive
to
what's
God.
going on.
I swear to God. This hoe was running away.
Did you say
14.
12, Kevin?
12. Yes.
12. Okay.
14.
Okay. So, August, I'm going to send you a very quick private message.
I feel special.
The high-tech ways that we pass notes.
Yes.
Yes. So what I'm doing now is I'm folding a piece of paper. I've written a note on it, and I'm going to throw it all the way to her place of residence. It's going to take me a few hours to do it, but we'll get back.
Oh, you're joking. Okay.
Rozzy.
Shut up. I was like, I don't understand.
It's like, how the fuck does that work? It'll be there in 3 to 5 business days.
Postage due.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, got returned. Bad address.
Where are you sending this? Oh.
Where else?
No. Where is it?
It's going up my ass. That's where it's going.
Silence, Nicholas.
No. Wow. I didn't realize.
How did you do that? Oh.
Do what?
It kept flickering because I clicked over to the DM thing, and then the camera kept going.
Yeah.
Nick.
It just changes to individual faces every
Whoever
so
has
often.
a live mic.
I think it's because Nick breathes heavy.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So did you get your note?
Mouth breather.
Yes.
Fucking rude.
So the note.
Yo, what's with this Pied Piper ass motherfucker with the kids going into the woods with them?
Huh?
There's some dude over there in a black robe leading a bunch of creepy children into the woods with damaged instruments.
Well, that's weird.
I think we need to save the children because this is not savory.
Pointing out that direction, and neither of
fuck,
you.
are they even alive?
Neither of you see anything in that area.
When she mentioned savory, my eyes go back to the food tent.
I was gonna say, I'm like, that's me. That's.
And then,
I
and then,
savory, and I'm like.
and then when I realize she's not talking about that, I'll turn the other direction where she's looking, and no one's there.
Yeah, no one's there. And as you go, as you're about to turn your head back to look in that direction, there are 3 kids that run by you, Bosco, and 2 of them are carrying these sacks of. Well, you can tell there's something kind of very fragrant in them, and one of the kids drops it, and the sack kind of opens. It's not really even more sack. It's almost like just a cloth that he folded into a sack. And in the middle of this, there's just a big chunk of like rabbit, just fresh and hot and still dripping, like it just came right off the fire.
Oh,
Okay, grilled. Okay, I wasn't sure if you're going cooked or raw there for a second.
No, it's cooked.
I was gonna say, I'm like, oh,
He's not gonna eat the kid's food.
And the kid just ran by and dropped it, and nobody's coming to get it.
For a second there, it was on the floor, which meant it was mine. But
yes,
5-second rule.
But yes, August. You don't. Now that you've mentioned that, you can see them, and they're just going off into the woods, and
I won't sing. Okay, go ahead.
once they get so far into the woods, you just don't see them anymore because the trees are too thick. So whatever they were doing, they're beyond your ability to perceive them at this moment.
Well, that's interesting.
Okay, let's see. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know if I can add Katie back into this call? I started with her on it, but I'm not sure.
She should be able to hit like the join. There's always a join option whenever you look into the chat. It's like everyone's displayed at the top. It'll say join call, either video or audio only.
Okay.
Into the woods to bring some bread to grain.
Stop.
So yeah. So I mean, you pretty much now have this chunk of grilled, like freshly grilled rabbit laying on this. Oh, there we go. It's.
If I can get the right one. Sorry,
Do it, Bosco. I won't judge.
Oh.
Nope.
She's there for a second.
There we go.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, tiny bear.
Katie, there may actually be a button to turn the camera on in addition to joining the chat.
Yeah. I think she... Yeah.
Just hit the little camera button. Like,
Yeah.
it looks like a fucking...
It's probably too much for her, the connection to handle. If you can't join video, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
We'll
If
just
it
say
won't
you're
let
naked if anyone asks.
Like, I keep clicking on the camera and it keeps...
We are live, Rozzy, so I mean...
So, if it... Hello... Oh, Katie.
Hello, totally not naked Katie, like...
She didn't realize this was a clothes required stream.
No, I firmly believe it's clothing optional. You don't know what's going on below the camera line.
He's got a good point.
Miu's naked, and she looks fine.
Okay. Yeah. So, Katie, if you can't get the video to come on, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Because it seemed like every time you were trying to go for the video, it's disconnecting you.
Yeah.
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 Don't worry,
don't even worry about it. It's
don't worry about
fine
it
as it is.
Okay, cool.
We can hear you at least, so that's good. Welcome, Katie. You want to introduce yourself quickly? I know we're a little ahead of this, and I'll let you know what's going on.
Okay, hi, I'm Katie. I'm usually here on time, but today is kind of a messy day. I'm playing Taika Ashton. She is a shifter, warlock, witch person, and she has a fox.
And at this point, Katie, and the rest of the group and yourself, you're now you're still a couple of hours away from the town, but along the edge of this area, there's there are 12 large multicolored tents that have been set up, and around this circular area in the middle of this tent, like caravan-like thing. There's a cloud that is producing snow, but only in that area. The rest of the weather around you guys is drizzly, a bit cold, kind of windy. Um, this and you guys are right at the edge of this thing now, and you're seeing that there are some groups working on ice sculptures in the snow area. There's lots of food, and some of these tents look like they have vendors that sell stuff. Some of these tents look like they have people are performing things. There's all kinds of food around. There's kids running around, adults running around like kids. It's just a general like festival that people seem to be enjoying, but it doesn't seem to be linked to any holiday that any of you guys can think of. It just seems like someone set up these tents and now they're just putting on shows. Every so often they're shooting up these puffs of magical smoke that would look a lot more interesting if it wasn't windy and damp, but you get momentary glimpses of like legendary creatures or just monsters, or sometimes things that you think might be heroes, but they get quickly demolished by the wind and the rain. And yes, and the cat has no.
I'm sorry, that is. Hello, Kitty.
It reminds me of one of those trail cams where they put the trail cam out there and
And
they
the deer just
animal
stares at it or something like that.
So, so far, really nobody has done too much. You've made it to the edges of these tents, and August swears that she saw a black-robed individual leading a group of children into the woods who are holding like broken instruments, but when she tried to point it out, none of you could see it.
I kind of. Oh God, Jesus, that scared the shit out of me. Oh my
Ew.
The cat gets inspiration.
God. Oh, shit. Oh my
She went for
God.
dark space.
All of a sudden, I just see this thing like lunge at the camera, and it scared the fuck out of me.
Well, Derek's little square is up there.
Oh
She was
my
like staring right at it.
God. I kind of like want to turn to her and say, I don't know about you, but I heard children in trouble, and I'm not okay with that. But I didn't see anything. Do you want to check it out, maybe?
Alright, we can check it out, but here's a spoiler alert. If none of y'all saw it, dead people, so they might be dead already.
Wait, are you like that? Like, are you like the Ghost Whisperer? Like,
I don't know what that is. But no, I just literally see dead people.
sweet.
Whether it's a good thing or bad. Well, I see dead animals too. But, I mean,
Honey, just
it's not necessarily
embrace that power.
Well, if y'all didn't see it, they're probably already dead. I'm not opposed to checking it out, but I don't know. I think we're supposed to be on task.
Instantly depressing. But okay.
And as you're having this whole discussion, there is a girl who's probably about 5 years old who runs up, sees Bosco, screams, "Oh, it's a dragon," and runs away.
What the fuck? Did y'all see her?
Yeah, but I don't
Yes.
see no dragon.
You're muted, Kevin.
Kevin is muted.
I am now unmuted.
Hello.
Yes. It's like,
She is
"Oh, it's a
either
dragon."
very confused about what a dog is, or she's tripping balls.
She's like fucking 6.
you you have a feeling it's more of she's playing. I know that's a foreign concept to you, but
Huh.
it's all work and no play for a familiar.
It is. It is. That's why we have mandatory vacation times now.
And
We gotta
personal
negotiate.
days?
Oh yeah, we had to negotiate for all of that, but it was worth it.
The one thing that you do notice though of all of this, they're like Bosco, you are the only animal around this
You gotta
area.
be careful. I think they're gonna eat animals.
Well, I mean, living
They're gonna eat
because
you.
there are several things being cooked right now, but
I don't think that would be effective. I'm pretty sure if I die, I discorporate.
You mean I was gonna say decorporeate, but like I don't know if that's actually a word.
It's not.
Decorporate could be a word that may actually apply to the situation.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm an English writing major. It exists now, so.
Creative license,
Yeah.
bitch.
Mhm.
Yep.
This is art. We say it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
so in general, there's a lot going on. Majority of people aren't focused on you guys though. They're focused on the inside of the tents or the groups that are working on these
And not their
carving
children soon are running into the woods to get possibly axe murdered.
Nobody is reacting to those children that are running into the woods to possibly be axe murdered.
We should go. Bring your axe.
How?
Will
Okay,
do.
so does anything look current? Can I tell if they're current, wearing current styles, like the latest Nikes, or like are they
No,
like wicked old dead
They're wearing
people?
Adidas.
No, essentially they're wearing one or two steps up from just cloth, like like sacks. It's just
They look like Dobby. I get it.
yeah, kind of.
Just give them socks; they'll be fine.
Oh, Miu did not like socks.
Yeah. So that yeah, so no, essentially it's they're close to rags is what they're wearing. They're carrying broken instruments and they're following this guy in a black robe through the woods, and eventually, like I said, they disappear beyond your sight. And you think that is more than likely due to the fact that the woods get thicker in that area rather than them just fading away.
I'm kind of eager to go explore this, so I'm probably doing that thing where I'm like 20 feet ahead, kind of dancing, waiting
Do
for
you eat the
Moby
rabbit
August.
first?
The kid picked the rabbit up, didn't he?
No, he ran off. He left it there.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that
right
rabbit's
in front of
already
your
gone.
face.
Yeah, that rabbit is going in my belly.
Yeah, that is an ex-rabbit. It has ceased to be.
And then you make sure that, but you do make sure that his little handkerchief bundle thing is thoroughly cleaned before leaving it there for him to find later. And as you make your way past one of the first tents that you go past to get through the crowds to the woods, you find it's got. And in this tent, there are barrels open, and in these barrels, there's powder, like multiple different colored powders. You have a feeling it's very much the same explosive powder that they're doing, that they're trying to do out there. It looks like this place is selling, like, you pick the colors or whatever, and then they make, like, a firework for you.
Must not be Massachusetts.
It's a firework factory. This is totally not safe for children.
God, we're in New Hampshire. Who knew?
That's just the first tent. Because then when you go by this first tent, the next tent is under this next tent, there are open flames, large open flames where like halves of cows are being cooked, smaller flames where rabbits are being cooked, all kinds
Oh
of
no!
food.
I don't know.
Oh, fuck.
I don't know if
Don't
what I
say
want to
dogs.
do
Don't say
more.
dogs.
I don't want to know if I want to do more. If I want to start running away from this obviously dangerous situation, or if I want to start writing them citations.
and as you move past that, you see that there's a small somewhat enclosed wagon, and on this wagon it has infernal characters and abyssal characters, but they're in arrangements where they look cool but don't spell anything. They're like those when they give you the fake
Their metal
tattoo.
album covers.
Yeah, or they give you the thing and it's like this would spell a word in reality if the characters were switched around in some way, but
Yeah,
looking at it right now, it just looks
it's a
cool.
it's a Scrabble grab bag of
Yeah,
demonic letters. Okay.
yeah, it's demonic letters, and there's a gentleman standing in front of it who, in one hand, he's holding a large dagger, and in the other hand, which he has now put over the tip of the dagger, there is nothing until he plunges the dagger through his palm, and the blade comes out the top. No blood around, and he goes, and with this sacrifice, I summon this, and you see him very casually reach down for a second, and then throw up a handful of this powder that just flashes into a flame, and standing in front of him is a goblin wearing a extremely ill-fitting pair of wings that are constructed out of, looks like wood and maybe cloth. And in addition, this goblin also has what might look like a unicorn's horn, but it's kind of like just little one strap on his forehead. And he's like, he comes and he kind of crouches down a little bit, and he goes, yes, my master, I am here to do your bidding. I am the great imp, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't even say words. He just says blah, 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 blah. And then the guy looks at him and goes, stop. That's not what we rehearsed.
What the fuck is that?
It's more undignified than any imp familiar I've ever seen.
I
turned to Buzz. I'm like, what's happening?
Like, they're not even union, but they're better than that.
Oh my god!
And there's a whole big thing. He goes, "Don't worry." And then he just, you hear him say a few words, and then the little dressed up goblin shrieks a bit, and you can see his limbs just shrink into his body, and he falls down at the man's feet as a toad.
I say an abyssal, neat trick, and then move on with my life.
Yeah, there's like no. So you move on.
I really don't care.
Yeah. So you move on, and as they keep going, there's a couple of kids that are going, there's no way that's a real dagger. There's no way that's a real dagger. And the guy's like, well, I'll show you. I'll show you it's a real dagger. And then as you guys go by, you hear a scream coming from a slightly confused man who
are you sure that's not me?
it looks like he had attempted to once again put the dagger through the palm of his hand, only this time the blade really cut through the palm of his hand, and there is blood everywhere.
That'll leave a scar. Let's go.
Not my problem.
Hashtag idiot.
Hashtag didn't do it.
That is not a safe workplace.
That's an OSHA violation.
Oh no! You've got basically big buckets of explosive powder.
Yeah, no.
Your open flames. You've got people that have obviously real low rent magicians, like
Booty. Move it.
Like you see, like half a word appear on the chalkboard every now and then I just stop and erase it as I struggle to figure out how to put into words how wrong everything I'm seeing is. I'm even doing that, like looking over my shoulder thing as we try to move away.
and you go past this way. Now you're heading towards the woods, right? And not
Yes.
towards like the rest of the stuff. Like these are just the edges of the tents that you're catching as you go, and as you start to make your way into the woods past these crowds. The only people that you do see is there are a couple of like older men like standing around with each other with big steins of something, and they're drinking and they're singing and they're talking, but like
my crowd.
they only look up long enough to give you guys like a strange eye when they see a dog walking through the with the rest of you.
Why not? He's my dog, motherfucker.
He's a good boy. Like,
and they're like,
he's my dog.
He's my puppy.
There's no
You don't own him.
Ow, Mew. Ow. Sorry.
She doesn't like the idea of you having a dog.
Yeah.
You,
Okay. Damn.
Okay. Yeah. That we have our first casualty for the evening.
Sorry.
Yep.
I got blood work, and she got me like right in the blood work.
Oh God! Ow. Jeez.
Okay, so yeah, so you manage to now separate yourself from these big crowds, and you start to go through this woods, and the trees, they're long, they're very tall, they're very skinny, they have very delicate branches here. But there's not a whole lot of leaves on them. You're getting closer to winter anyway, so you're very shortly near the first few days of winter are coming soon. But you make your way, and in this area, it's more of a mild start to winter normally anyway, and you come off this area where you find a small stone wall. It's about 3 feet from the ground up, and it goes around this rectangular area. And inside this, you can see over, those of you that can see over a 3-foot wall, you see there are 36 unmarked headstones.
I will jump to the top of the stone wall so I can look.
So like I say, you see 36 unmarked headstones. And at the foot of these stones, there are you see broken instruments, lutes, there's a couple of like flutes, there's even like a piccolo kind of thing, there's some drums that have been long ago discarded and are no use to anybody. All this stuff looks like they've been placed at the foot of these stones and have been there for years.
Oh wow!
So
It's a musical
creepy.
graveyard. Musical graves.
Hello? Children.
Bro, I don't think there's any goddamn living children anymore. I think they're all dead.
Doesn't mean you can't talk to them. Kids. Somebody sing.
Kids. I guess I'm just gonna follow along and be like, hello?
Kids, sing a song.
The only the back row of headstones have freshly turned earth near them.
Oh.
But the rest look like they've been there for a long time, because you have the grass is kind of grown back, the moss and all the other stuff is kind of grown in places and kind of interlocked and filled in the way nature will over time. But
How many of them look new?
there's a back row of 6 of them that look new.
And they look like they were all the same time or just recently?
You have to you have to get a little closer and get a slightly better look, but initially, at least from what you can see, they look relatively around the same time.
Okay.
Are we going to defile things?
Within days?
Absolutely not.
Within days rather than weeks or months.
Okay.
Am I going to defile something? Maybe.
August.
Are there any instruments on there?
On those, there's not. Okay, so basically what you have is this last row of headstones. The earth behind them is what is freshly turned, and in front of them there are some broken instruments.
So does this look kind of like this is like an actual graveyard and not like just like a half-assed burial yard where like a murderer would do something. It looks like someone actually took the time to be like mourning and put stuff in, right?
Yeah, but there's not. What you're seeing is all of the graves are unmarked. There's no religious symbols on any of them. There's no symbols on any of the walls around there. It looks very, and it's not. I mean, it's very uncommon in this world, and from your experience, that you come to a graveyard where there's no markings at all, and it's these rows of graves, and all the headstones are like, even if the headstones are normally like empty or unmarked, there's a symbol of some sort to some god somewhere around there. And there's nothing.
August, do you have any ritual or method to contact a specific ghost?
I'm only like level 2, so no. Looking at your square deck. Hold on. No, I definitely don't.
Then make something up.
Oh.
Well, wait, are you saying that there are pre-dug graves behind the old graves? Or like they are fresh graves?
Like,
the earth is freshly turned behind those stones. Now, but the question is, you're not sure which direction the bodies are from. Like a stone, there's the line of the headstones here.
Yeah.
But you're not sure if the graves go
dig
backwards or...
Oh, wait, you're good at digging, aren't you?
I will not.
Wow. Absolute savagery.
Can I just mage hand dig or press digitize 1 foot of dirt away at a time?
Yes, you could do 1 foot of whatever the...
Maybe picking up one of the instruments would get a ghost's attention.
True. Does any of them look easy to use? Yeah.
I mean, there's like a recorder kind of thing there, and there's a couple of other just basic drums that you might be able to make a sound out of, but most of the stuff is damaged, and many bits of it, if you pick it up, it'd probably fall apart.
I'll go for like the freshest looking one, maybe the recorder, and press digitize the tip clean, and then try to blow into it. Dude,
okay.
I don't want none of that.
Well, it's a good thing to practice cleaning your instruments before using them. So that's a good idea. Okay, so you managed
really bad.
You managed to do that, and you start to play. Like, do you have any experience with an instrument?
I doubt I would have bothered.
Okay, so you just do that thing where everybody who thinks they can suddenly play an instrument and never done it before, they put it in their mouth, and you just get like 3 sour notes out of it. But that's not bad considering you've never done any of it before. And you find at the end of that, the only thing that you've accomplished is you've blown out a little more dirt and dust from the inside of the horn, like the other end of the recorder. Not that you cleaned the front end that that you were blowing through, but you just blow out a couple of the bits of dust and dirt from the end. And
Back to digging.
there's nothing there. But as you continue to look around, you can give me an investigation check. Bosco, actually, anybody can give me an investigation check if you'd like. If you're all going to continue to look around here and see it.
I got a 5.
16.
16 also.
Katie?
I got a 1. So
We're doing great.
Yeah. Okay. So, what Bosco and August, what you two eventually find is as you're looking around, not trying to disrupt anything just yet, but just trying to get the full grasp of what this area is. You come around the back end to where this freshly turned earth is, and you see just on this one headstone, about 2 inches from the ground, there are 2 indentations that look like they're about the size of copper pieces. It looks strange because that kind of indentation is not on any of the other stones.
Does that have any kind of religious significance?
No, not that you can think of. You can definitely go and give me a religion check to see if it's something really obscure, but there's nothing that comes to your mind in general.
I don't have religion skill. Can I try an arcana check?
Sure.
8.
Do either of you, or do any of you have religion?
I have a -1.
I have a +3. Try it.
I mean, maybe I remember something.
I really should, considering my field, but...
I got a 14.
11. It's because
Get it from a lot of people?
It's everybody. It's intermittent. I'm just getting static.
What do you mean? I'm not getting anything.
I know. I think it's on my end.
So
I can't figure out what it is.
Good thing it's the Christmas.
So, Taika, you're actually trained in religion.
I got an 8.
An 8, okay.
We're doing really
That's
well.
10, that's an 18.
I think you missed that class.
Probably.
Yeah. So altogether, it doesn't seem to have any religious or even mystical kind of connotations. It just looks out of place and weird, especially just 2 inches above the ground, kind of thing. There's no, as you look even closer, you really do see. Not only does it look like 2 copper piece kind of indentations, but looking closer to the things, it does have the same kind of markings as a copper piece. Like a copper piece could fit in 2 of those holes. Locally minted copper around this area could fit into those holes. Like it's like there was a mold for 2 copper pieces there.
Let's do it. Let me see if I have any copper.
Wait,
I'm sure I do.
Just to
I'm a
confirm,
baller, just so you know.
is this grave getting dug? Or what are we doing?
I mean, if we notice those little slots first, then I'd say I probably didn't go there.
Yeah, I didn't think anybody was actually digging up any graves yet. I thought it was just investigating.
Okay, I wasn't going to do that. I was just saying, so are we going to dig it up? Question.
Well, I wasn't going to.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
But you're like
neither
an
was
expert
I.
at it, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No.
profiling.
So I'll put some copper in there.
Yeah. So when you match them up and you actually you find you actually have to turn the coins a little bit so that they fit properly. But when you match them up completely, you hear a click, and I need you to make a dexterity save
Oh, fuck.
as the ground underneath you and Bosco make a dexterity save as well. The ground underneath you guys just
Oh, no.
gives away. What'd you get?
That's a solid 6.
A 4?
Oh fuck!
You should have just dug.
Friday the 13th, y'all.
As the ground swallows me up and pulls me under, I just give August a look.
No, what you find is it was like two wooden doors. Earth was placed above it. When you put those 2 coins in, there was a snap. The support for the doors underneath was removed. The doors gave way, and you only fall about 6 feet.
Okay.
You
So-
fall. Yeah.
It wasn't
that looks like it
coin
kinda hurt.
operated, it just collapsed.
Yeah.
So you fall this 6 feet. In the first thing that you notice at this point is there's a symbol. It's the it's a skull and a scythe symbol. It's easily one of the very interchangeable gods of death. It's hard to say which one because this kind of symbol's been like hijacked by many of the gods of death who have a habit of dying.
Death Eaters, posers.
Yeah. They just don't
Find
don't
it a hot
have
topic.
the gods of death don't have a long running reign. They often just disappear quickly and then they're replaced by somebody else who often goes, status quo is fine. I'll just use this same symbol as the guy before me.
The Death Pirate Roberts.
Bow ring.
Yeah,
Right here.
that kind of stuff. No, and in this symbol it's partially buried in earth, but the symbol itself is clearly out. You're not quite sure what it's attached to. But there's more. You could say there's more of a solid something attached to it, leading back into the earth. But it's just hard to see because the rest it's kind of at a slight angle, kind of like that, but in the dirt.
Wow.
Wait, what? It's just like on the wall or something?
No, it's kind of coming out of the ground. Like the symbol is coming out of the ground at a slight angle, probably kind of like that.
Can we try to move it?
Okay, when you go down to try to move it, you find that the symbol itself won't move, but the earth around it isn't as hard packed as it probably could be. So you're able to move the earth around that a little bit, and you can see that this is like right under the symbol. There's like a little bit of a gauge, a little bit of a gouged out area. It looks like you could put your fingers in it and pull, and it would like open something behind there. It's like a door.
Fuck it, let's do it. Ain't got time for no checks.
Okay.
Nor do we have the skills to make the...
So you pull the door, and you find that there is some rock and earth and other things that are kind of keeping. It doesn't open as smoothly as you imagine it would had it not been partially buried. But when you open this door, the first thing that you smell is very clearly the scent of an underground crypt. Just dead
Yes, we gotta
body.
get some XP tonight.
There's just dead bodies and dust and mold and all those things that you smell when you come to this underground kind of crypt. The earth is very dark in this area. The dirt's very dark, very rich in
Moist, if you will.
The nutrients are making it very moist.
So, but when you pull this, it opens this. It opens the section of wall that comes out, leading you to have about a 5-foot wide tunnel that leads into complete darkness.
Let's go.
I mean, fuck it, why not? I guess.
Oh wait, I don't think I have anything that can make light. Oh wait, does prestidigitation make light? Hold on.
I think it can make a candle's worth of light.
I mean, wait, I might have torches or something. Hold
I
on.
don't know if you can. You can make sparks.
Oh yeah,
You can light a candle.
I've got a torch. I mean, you could light a torch that I have.
Fine. Boom!
Yes, let there be light.
Let there be magic.
Magic.
Neil, come here. You're being petulant.
As soon as you light the torch, there is like a whoosh of frigid air that comes from the tunnel and blows the torch right out.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
Well, that's rude as fuck.
Anyone have dancing lights or something?
I've got minor illusion. That definitely won't help us. I can make it blow. I can make it blow wind again if I want to.
Make a minor illusion of a shoulder cat.
I can make 1 cubic foot warm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a kitty.
We're kind of lacking in light spells.
I mean, I don't.
I got burning hands, but
so you
I've
could
got dark vision.
You can attempt. So what you actually see though down there, if you go over and look, those of you that have dark vision, is it does go about 40 feet, and at the end of this 40-foot thing, there is the whole wall is this giant carved figure, and in the center there is a hole, and that's where that gust of wind came from. It's like it's not even like the mouth or anything. It's like the center chest of this carved figure has this hole in it, and that's where the wind came from. And above, there's no facial features on this thing. There's no real there's no anything. It's just a round like an oval head, but no eyes, no eyebrows, no nose, no mouth, no nothing. Below it, it's the chest comes down, and there's that hole in the center. The arms of this thing are elongated. They go all the way down to the bottom, and the hands kind of rest on the top of the feet.
Kix, put your arm in the hole.
Okay, fuck it. I'll put my arm in the hole. No, just kidding. I won't do that. No,
Fortune favors the bold.
Yeah.
Go for it. Do it.
Bro, if I
Give
lose
it a
an
hug.
arm, I'm gonna
Give it a hug.
I'm gonna beat you with my. I almost said
Go make out with
decapitated
Slender
arm.
Man.
Gonna beat you with his stump.
You couldn't flex with one arm, not properly.
I couldn't, and it's gonna be a no from me, dog. Honestly, like.
Do it.
That was dog with an AW, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you don't.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little bit of rope, and I'm gonna put it in the hole. I'm gonna kind of feed it down into the hole.
Yeah,
to see if it
it'll
does anything.
feed it down the hole. Okay.
Why must you put things
Shut up.
Pushing rope
Oh,
is
no.
literally a cliche.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay. Okay.
Just put your fucking hand in it,
No.
goddammit.
So you
How
slide
about you look inside?
you slide the rope into the hole, and you're feeding it in. You're feeding it in, and you're finding eventually you're able to put 30 feet of rope in that hole.
And
Damn.
It bunches up to the front.
The three of us are like sitting a few feet away in absolute darkness with no idea what's happening.
You just hear like, come on. All right, go in, and you like grunt that as I'm trying.
I can get this in. Just get it. A little more. Shove.
You're like, what the hell is he doing?
I don't know, but he's trying really hard.
Oh my god.
Oh, man.
So, yeah. So you get about 30 feet of rope that actually go all the way into this hole till it fills up to the front.
And I'm gonna call over to the guys and be like, I found a really deep hole.
You fucking suck at this.
Is that it?
Can I actually kind of see into it at all? If there's any discerning, like...
Yes, there's a bunch of rope in it.
Oh, well, no shit, but like...
Well, you pack the rope so much now that you can see nothing but rope.
Okay,
so
I'm gonna...
You'd have to pull the rope out.
Yeah, I'm
Alright,
gonna take the rope out.
It's Slender Man, okay? Just bite the bullet.
So as you pull out the rope, you're able to look down, and thankfully it's non-magical darkness, and you can see at the very end of it there appears to be there's a hole that goes all at the very end of it, a smaller hole than the one at the front. That hole seems to be where the wind actually comes through, but next to it there's a switch.
Do it.
So I'm gonna be like, all right, I think I found where that air is coming from, and also a switch that might control it. Should we just fucking go for it and yeet the switch up?
Less talky, more doey.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna crack
Okay.
it down.
So
You're the jock of the group. Just do your
So
thing.
you to actually hit the switch, you'd have to actually put like the like a stick or something down there because your hand can't reach all the way in to the end, so you'd have to extend it with the stick. So you managed to put your hand in, and you just have a stick or something with you.
I have my javelin. I'll throw it.
Yeah.
In.
Okay. No, but you use the blunt end of the javelin to flip
Is this
the
the
switch.
Cuisinart game?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Use your Cuisinart.
Yeah. Oh,
Hasbro.
that's too big. That's too big to fit through the hole.
Oh yeah, that's right. The javelin is too big.
No, not their javelin. The javelin was fine. She said the Cuisinart, the pizza cutter.
Oh
Your
yeah,
pizza
no,
cutter
that thing
blade
would not
won't fit the hole.
fit.
Yeah. So you flip the switch, and
Slenderman, eat your face.
He wants to give me a little kiss.
Roll a new character.
the door starts to move in a circular kind of pattern with your arm in it.
Ha
And
ha.
It's pulling you towards the face of the wall as the door is slowly rotating. Your arm is going with it, and your face is going towards the wall.
I'm going to start fucking screaming because I don't know what the hell is happening.
We can't help you, bro. We can't see.
Whatever you're doing, stop.
I can't.
All you guys can hear is like this low rumble now of like stone on like some sort of track, being pushed slowly, and you just hear him scream. And it's dark, and there's now screams and the sound of grinding stone. So
Wait,
what do you
hold
wanna
on,
do,
hold
I
on.
think?
Let me try something, and I'm gonna like pull my arm out and see what happens.
Yeah, your arm comes out easily.
Oh.
There's nothing holding it there other than you just
Oh
holding
my
her arm there.
fucking god.
No.
I'm not. I swear to God, I am sober AF right now, and this is how my thought process is.
And when it comes completely around, that hole that thing goes into the wall. It's rotated, and you turn to face this thing, and it does seem to lead to a staircase that goes down.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to light his torch again.
Okay. This time when you light the torch, because that thing is not there to blow it out, the torch lights and you're able to see Kixix over the end, just kind of looking at his arm, looking at the staircase leading down, looking at the thing going,
Damn, that was a close one,
he's got
guys.
one hand on his he's got one hand on his chest. He looks like he's pretty close to passing out on you guys for a minute.
Damn.
Care to narrate what the fuck just happened?
I almost died. I almost lost my good flexing arm. Like, that wall almost showed me, but I showed it by pulling out at the last second.
Alright, we'll take a shot of muscle milk and buck up.
Let's leave this room before any more innuendos happen.
Oh my god, okay, I just got that the hole in the wall was a hole in the wall, and I thought he was talking about a hole in the floor, so I was getting really confused as to why the rope was filling up real quick. So I do apologize.
Yeah.
It's hard when you don't have a visual. You know what I mean?
It's hard when I'm fucking stupid.
But that's part of D&D. That's the cool part.
Because at the table, I could have drawn you a diagram. It would have taken us 2 hours for you to understand it, but we would have.
Yeah.
True. Oh my god. True.
Where's Katie in all this?
I'm here.
Yeah. Tyka's just in the back watching you guys.
Just like, okay,
Do you have dark vision?
I do, actually.
This could have gone so much better.
Oh my god.
So you saw everything that Kix did.
Yeah.
Yep.
I just stood there.
Yeah, I just stood there watching it. It's like, yeah. It's like, it
So
just
she's
reminds
a bit of
me
a
of.
sadist.
It reminds me of. I put my hand in the thing. I grabbed the bottle of beer, but I can't get the beer out, so I'm stuck. You're just like, go,
No.
Okay.
no.
Welcome to the party.
Now.
As you head down these stairs, you start to see there are some light sources here. They're now sparkling little white lights. It looks like it's a little bit of a stone that's catching light and amplifying it from your torch. It looks like kind of crystals on these walls, and
Granite?
not quite sure what kind of stone it is, but as you get a closer look, there's these white crystals that kind of catch the light, amplify it a little bit, so it gets kind of a nice little glow near the bottom. And what you can hear now is the sound of running water, and at the Okay, sorry. I can never watch what you guys talk about down there because I will just lose my train of. Oh, okay.
The last few steps, by the way, I'm going to run right past Kixix legs.
Okay. When you go past that and down to the bottom, there's it's kind of just a little like a dock area, just a little flat piece of earth extends out a little bit to a wooden dock, and there's a rowboat there.
Okay.
In the rowboat,
Oh no.
there's there is a stream. There's running water underneath this boat.
I am not drinking anything. I'm not going out like Dumbledore, guys.
What?
And sitting at the front of this boat is an obviously ill-constructed makeshift ferryman. It looks like somebody took a scarecrow from a field, brought it there, like tacked it to the front of the boat, put a weird, vaguely ominous black robe over it that's been like threadbare and falling apart, gave it a fake-looking scythe. Looks like a carnival attraction kind of scarehouse kind of thing. It's stuck at the front of this rowboat in a standing position with its fake scythe pointed towards the tunnel. And as you look, this whole water, this river thing goes for about 60 feet before it fades into the darkness because you can't see any further than that with dark vision or assisted vision.
Can I try to kick the dummy's head off?
I'm pretty sure this is not the way to the prison.
Yep.
You know what I will do though? If you kick the head off, I'm just gonna take the head and give it a slight kiss and then throw it in the water as hard as I can.
So you go and you go over there, August, and you kick the head off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes off, and when it hits the ground, it splatters, leaving behind bits of pumpkin guts and pumpkin seed.
Oh, well, that's not so bad.
There's a small pumpkin head.
Alright, let's kick this motherfucker off the boat and go fishing.
Yeah, let's go fishing.
But the thing that's most interesting about that, though, is that while the rest of this makeshift scarecrow seems old and disused and everything, the pumpkin head part of it still seems relatively fresh.
Someone was
this
here
town
recently.
is fucked up.
Yeah, it is, bro.
Yeah. So you're able to push that away. It looks like if you want to go any further here, you'll have to ride a boat.
Yeah, so we kick the dummy
swim
off the boat so that we have the extra seat.
Yeah, this is our boat.
Kix is obviously paddling, so he's got the big gun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was in
I'll
a
enjoy a leisurely boat ride.
And once you all get on the boat and you push out, you feel a snapping kind of underneath you, and you kind of get like you lower the torch a little bit and look underneath. There's a track. There's some device that has attached to the bottom of your boat and is now pulling you along the center of this river. You're now in an automated transportation mode.
Oh god, it's like one of those like rides at a fucking theme park.
Yes.
Now we're getting sci-fi.
It's the small world ride.
No, fuck off, don't.
And you come around the corner
for a reason.
and there's 45 gnomes all dressed like various no.
Really?
No.
No.
You
no.
This as you follow this thing, and it starts to go, and there's a little decline, and you come through here, and the rooms start to open up, and you see to your left, there's more of these kind of fake statues that, or like things set up. One of them looks much like the ferryman, much like kind of the traditional like Grim Reaper kind of thing, and in front of them there's a bunch of wooden. They're not even dummies. They're just like sheets of wood that somebody has like crudely painted figures on. And they all look shocked. They all have their mouths open wide, and they all have tears on their faces. And this thing looks like it's about to attack them. It almost looks like it's kind of a... As you go just a little bit further, you see the plaque on it, and it says like Death introduces himself.
Okay. That's hella scary.
Don't put a rope in it, Kicks.
No, fuck you! I'm not going near that thing. Put a
and the
rope
boat
on it.
and the boat
Hope you
keeps going.
got your fucking rope back.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you did, but the boat keeps going. But now you notice that you can feel it now. You're going on a slow downward spiral. It's a very
Is that the
slow
truth?
spiral, and as you go past this thing, you come to another scene, and it's just 4 coffins, and this makeshift like Grim Reaper guy is kind of standing over these coffins, and it's an exaggerated. Once again, it's a pumpkin face on this thing, but it's an exaggerated smile. Really goes from one end of this pumpkin to way over on the other side. Big toothy grin kind of thing. And as you start to move by, the 4 coffins, the tops pop open, and these things go from the seated position of the coffin up, and they are essentially scarecrows again, kind of thing. They just pop up, and as they do fling themselves up to a standing position, half of them fall apart. It's like whoever built this
This
was
is the
not
world's worst haunted house ride.
Yeah. And then you hear that then you, as you get a little further, you see the little caption that says death is about his business. Yeah, this is death.
So mind yours.
Yeah, death is about his business, and it keeps going, and you see like 2 or 3 more of these very hastily crafted, crappy things. They're all about like one's like death comes to lunch, and it's like a dinner table, and all these people have like X's over their eyes, and there's all this like food there, and there's these big bottles that say poison, and all it's just obviously somebody has. You think that this is not the naturally occurring stuff that was here. Somebody has come in and done something to this to create all these things.
Would I be able to tell by using like, well, I mean like perception or something to see if this was done by like a child or more along the lines of like
Fucking kid's gonna come down here.
I don't know. I mean, it seems kind of crudely done. So
they're crudely done. So, your best guess is either children or things with less than average intelligence.
Creepy ass fucking children.
Children of the Corn, maybe they're coming down here doing shit.
Malachi, where are you?
Oh my god!
And eventually, once the boat gets to the end of the spiral, it comes down. There is an obsidian door at the end of this tunnel, and that's all that's there. And on this door, in Draconic, Abyssal, Celestial, Infernal, it basically says, beyond this door lies death.
I know Infernal, and I'm gonna kind of relay that and be like, so this is a big hell no door.
Let's open it.
Okay, cool. Let's go for it. Yeah.
I open it.
Okay.
No, don't. Jesus.
August walks over, gets out of the boat, walks across the little land, comes to the door, opens it. Beyond there is a large cavern, and it is lit by many torches, and you see at least 3 dozen small, scaly lizard-like creatures.
I shut the door.
You pulled a me.
Before you're able to shut the door, you notice that they were kobolds.
Oh.
And back beyond them, was a large was a throne, and there was something sitting on the throne. Did you stay long enough to look, or did you just shut the door as soon as I said that there were
Fine,
figures?
I'll stay.
Okay, so looking upon it, there is a very large bellied lizard man who looks like he's lounging across this throne. He's got like a hunk of raw meat in one hand. He's got all these kobolds who are kind of dancing and chanting around him, and all you keep hearing them say in Draconic is death, death, we like death, we like death, death, death. And so it's this whole big thing, and he's just casually like, oh, you guys
part
have
of the
got,
ride?
you've got to come up with a better song. I'm tired of hearing that.
So is that door in front of the boat, or is it off to the side of the boat?
It's the boat comes to a stop, and then there's land, and August got off, walked across the land, opened the door, and saw this.
Hey, August, is there more ride up there?
Yeah, King Koopa's in here.
Oh, cool. It's Bowser! King Koopa.
Roll initiative, guys!
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Are they reacting to us?
No, right now they seem to be in a frenzy. These kobolds seem to be in a frenzy of dance around this throne, around this lizard man who's like leaning back, enjoying. Obviously, he's been there for many months, enjoying the fruits of their labor. You can see he has quite the belly. There's lots of bones near the edge of his throne. The only thing that you notice that is at all kind of, I mean, it's all kind of strange, but there's something that stands out, is that he holds a small scepter in his other hand, and in the top of that scepter is what looks like a screaming skull.
Let me get most of that.
Screaming skull, you say?
Yep.
Sounds like loot to me, guys.
Hell yeah, skull collection.
So, I will bark once to get everyone's attention, and then put up on the chalkboard. Does anyone know the way to the prison?
So,
Forward, Mark.
as you bark, you notice though, well, the other thing that you notice now is that when many of these kobolds turn to you, their lips and their muzzles, their faces are stained with a bright purple. It kind of looks like they've been eating a whole lot of, those old electric blue kind of, was it blow pops that if you just like lick them long enough, your tongue turns blue? Yeah. It just looks like not only tongues but muzzles and snouts. They're all that is like blue from something that they've been eating.
Great, kobolds on a sugar high.
Yeah. And you do see like back beyond them, there are several barrels of something. They're sealed shut, but there are barrels back there. And you bark, and they look back at you, and then you definitely see a look of intoxication, or
oh god,
maybe even to the level of kind of fanatic charm, because they turn back from you and they still keep going right back to dancing around this lizard guy, going, death, death, we like death, we like death, death, death.
Mm-hmm.
And they just won't.
Okay, so I don't think we're getting directions from these.
You know,
we
don't have to be focused on one quest. Side quests are good too.
So I'm assuming we could probably just walk in?
Yeah. As you walk in,
curious, confused observation.
As you start to walk in, 3 kobolds spring from the left side, and in their hands are bowls. And in those bowls, there's this purple liquid, and floating in the purple liquid looks like there's these grapes or various round things. And instead of like violently attacking you, they violently push these bowls at you.
Sorry, I'm on a keto diet. I can't have that. No, I'm going to be like, do they speak Infernal or what do they speak?
Oh, they're speaking Draconic.
Oh fuck, I can't understand that.
Nor
They better
I.
understand a growl.
Yeah.
I'm
Dare
going
you to eat it, Nick.
No, I'm going
One
to
even-
kind of like push it back and be like, no.
No. One even goes so far as to get right in front of Bosco and like try to shove Bosco's snout into the bowl.
Oh no.
I have comprehend languages.
I'm sorry, I missed that, Katie.
I have comprehend languages.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the ones with the bowls, they speak common.
Oh.
When they start to tell you, here, drink,
No,
drink.
no, that will get on my
No.
fur. Absolutely not.
That'll stain everything. I
Yeah.
don't agree.
And they just look at you like you're being extremely rude. You've barged into their house. They've offered you a drink. You don't want any. And they
I'm
look at
being
you,
a
August.
rude
Are you gonna
bitch.
take? Are you gonna take a bowl?
No. No, that's way too purple.
August.
I don't need no perp drink.
I don't know. I
Um,
kind of like to read the ingredients.
NyQuil, grapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's NyQuil, grape soda, and wine.
From where you're at, it does smell. It smells like a very grapey kind of sweet wine, but there's obviously something more to it.
I'm definitely not fucking drinking that.
Well, then they're all pushing forward to give each of you a bowl. So
No.
Can I
you can
pretend?
decline it. Sure, if you want to pretend, you take the bowl and try it. Yeah. Go for a deception check.
$21. That was a 19.
Yeah.
On
Someone's
that.
at practice at tea parties.
It's like the guy gives you a little scaly thumbs up, and then runs back off to grab another bowl, to which he then tries to shove it into Taika's face.
Triple dog dare you.
I was just gonna use Mage Hand to take the bowl away from the kobold who's trying to give it to me, and then pass it over to August.
Yeah, so this little mage hand comes over and is now trying to hand you another bowl.
Oh, I'm full.
Pour it out like you did the other one.
I can't get lucky twice.
So did you want to politely decline that bowl that's now in front of your face?
Yes.
I'll just set it down. Off to the side, a couple of feet.
But it is important. You can see.
Oh, yes, I see. Death, death. We like death.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
You would like death too. If you came here and talked to him, you would like it. But he won't talk to you unless you drink from the wine.
I'm sorry, I have a strict policy against drinking Kool-Aid from cultists.
Fine. They go, oh, that's just more for us, and they then walk off.
Mm-hmm.
They don't bother you anymore. Trying to shove the bowls in your face.
Mm-hmm.
They go back to, and then they take the bowls and they down them, dripping everything down, like just and everything, and then you immediately see like this glaze pop into their eyes, and they turn back around, and it's death, death, we love death, and they're just dancing around this lizard guy who's like just kind of casually moving a hand. This big chunk of raw meat, he's like chewing on it, and then he puts his hand back. He never even looks in your direction at first.
So I'm just gonna take a look around the room, just keeping out of the way of the frenzied death cultists.
Okay, so looking beyond them, like I said, there are several barrels of this stuff. There's at least 6 barrels that you see here that are stored in such a way that you assume that these 6 barrels have something in them. Like, that's probably the wine, whatever this stuff is. Be on the other side of that throne, there are 5 or 6 barrels, but these are broken. The insides are heavily stained, like that purple color, but it looks like they've been emptied and then destroyed. There's this throne in the center, and in this throne, there's the lizard guy is like kind of just lazily perched across it, not even paying attention to you. Is a mix of, when you get closer, you can see it. It's a mix of black and green kind of scaly patterns. And he's not, as you even get closer, he's not a lizard man. He's probably a black dragonborn.
Half of me wants to talk to him, and the other half doesn't want to interrupt him.
Where's
And he's
the
just
town?
the town is
Excuse me, sir. Where's
back
the prison?
up. The town is back up the spiral of water, back out of the woods, back past the tents, and about an hour and a half north.
Bloody hell.
Excuse
me, sir. Do you have an easy exit?
When you finally say that, the gentleman stands, or well, and you can now clearly tell he's very much a black dragonborn. He's got the kind of forward-facing black dragon horns, the more like kind of a thin, more skeletal like kind of face that's kind of more akin to a black dragon. You know, as the black dragon gets older, their faces get more, you know, that kind of skeletal look to him. And aside from the fact that he's been overly indulging in food lately, he wears nothing.
Well, how's it, hey? No, just kidding.
Oh, hey there, big boy.
Hey.
Well,
or
that's,
not.
That's the thing. Whatever he may or may not have is kind of covered and hidden by an extended belly at this point. And he has in his with the one hand, he has the little scepter. He goes, "So you've come to the court of death."
I guess so.
Apparently.
So what brings you here today?
We
You
were
lost
following some kids.
You've lost a loved one?
No.
No, I think we're
I mean, a
actually
fucking
lost.
robot, maybe, but
We just followed the one who can see dead people, pretty much, and that's it.
Oh, so you can see dead people?
Maybe.
yeah.
And he just kind of generally looks at. He doesn't look specifically at anybody because all Kixik said is we followed the one who could see dead people, so he really doesn't know who you're talking about. Then he looks down at Bosco and he goes, "Is it you?
No.
Can you see the dead?"
No, I just see a bunch of drunk kobolds.
Oh, they're not drunk. They are devoted
to the purple drink.
to the perp drink.
So
what's up?
You're here. And
Rossi.
How's
we
business?
don't just allow people to come here and leave
Why not?
without paying a tribute to death.
Well, we're not killing anyone, so. Well, maybe you.
Oh, no. You have it all wrong. Not asking you to kill anybody. I'm not asking you to die. I'm asking you to pay tribute to death. Come. Follow me. And he snaps his fingers, and all of the kobolds, they kind of scatter to either side. He goes, death is this way.
Okay.
That is not as welcoming as you think it is.
I know. Will there be tea?
Perhaps. Or perhaps not. I'm not sure.
Will Death like
actually.
it if I flex my muscles at them?
I'll follow, but I'm
maybe.
really ready for this to go sideways.
Okay. And as you come through this door, it immediately opens to this mound of earth right in front, and right beyond the mound of this earth is a open cavern.
Oh no.
And in the center of this open cavern, something about the size of an elephant is curled up, tip of nose to tip of tail. It is a black dragon. And all along the tops and sides of this cavern, there are symbols, and they all are symbols for the word death in various languages. And past this mound of earth, and all just everywhere else in this room where there isn't a dragon, there's a layer of coins and gems and
instant I see that dragon,
objects.
I am going to freeze and then slowly start walking backwards, which looks very awkward for a dog because it is.
Yes.
I'm gonna actually ask the Dragonborn. Are you guys related?
Never moved out of the house, I see.
Yeah, no, jeez. Mooching off your parents, huh?
In a way, we are. This is death. Come in.
Is that just a pet name?
I promise you, death has no interest in killing any of you at this moment.
At this
what
moment.
about the next moment?
Yeah.
That's not how death works.
That is how death works.
That's how Mafia works.
If I tell you death doesn't want to kill you, I can assure you death is not going to want to kill you. Well, this death. I can't speak for death as a concept, but death as this thing here, and he points to the dragon.
So
death here is not interested in killing you.
This whole
thing turned south real quick. Like,
sure, let's go meet your dad.
Or
mom.
So when you step forward, there's this moment where the thing starts to uncurl, and then just like a cat or a dog or whatever, it does that whole lazy stretch. The wings come out, they buff it out, and you see like the arms just stretch out, and its neck comes up, and it turns to you, and it has one good eye. The other eye socket is gone. It's destroyed. The one good eye, and it looks at you, and it goes, ugh, not more visitors. Leave.
Oh,
okay.
Cool. If you say so, bye.
Goes, but wait. Before you go, where is my tribute?
What kind of tribute do you need?
Oh my God.
He looks around at all of the gems and the
gotcha.
gold and all the things around, And then he looks back and goes, "You know what I really would like? A
A
harp.
Whopper Jr.
Nobody has given me a harp."
A harp. Let me.
I could totally get one for you. I just don't have it on me because you tell me I got here.
A harp.
I don't even have pocket.
Well, I don't even have.
How about a candle?
If you want,
No.
I
I don't
have.
need a candle. I appreciate the offer, but
It's
a
Yankee.
gracious host's duty is to tell you when your gifts are inadequate, and a candle is an inadequate gift.
But
We're only
it's
level
a
2. We don't
Yankee
even have
brand.
any loot yet.
It's
Then
not
we
Kringle.
will go find you a harp.
Fetch quest. I'm sending a fetch quest.
Sure. And if you're going to get me a harp, I would like the dog to stay with me until you get the harp.
But we need him to get the harp.
No, we
He's
don't.
our spokesperson.
Not really.
Can I just leave my credit card with you?
Yeah.
You're a slightly misformed warforged.
What?
Can I leave my credit card?
He looks no. He looks at Kixix's back. If Thaddeus is actually visible on Kixix's back still, that would actually interest him.
Dude, just give him Thad. Nobody wants him anyway.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. I unhook him, and I'm just gonna say like, yo, this dude, it's a talking robot thing.
You
What?
just need to get him like a new body, but like he'll be your best friend forever.
Dude, he has switchable faces. I mean, that's like an upgrade from a Mr. Potato Head. Like,
And no one else has him.
All his bits and pieces are there. You just have to put them back together.
yeah, we don't have.
So it's like a
the instruction
Lego
manual, though.
set on top of that.
Yeah.
So like we are giving you a Lego set worth at least $600.
What is $1?
I don't know.
Gold pieces, I mean.
What is $1? What is this USD?
600,000 gold pieces is what he's worth.
I'm a dragon. I know all about Legos. I just don't know anything about dollars.
Fair enough.
But yeah, and he's a unique, one-of-a-kind, no one else in the entire world has a Thaddeus.
But I really want that harp.
I mean, you can
We'll
have
still
him
get it to you, but you can just have him as a bonus, as long as we don't have to leave any of our companions
Well,
behind.
actually, I've got something for you. Down the path a bit, there is a harp. If you can get me that harp, I will let you go unscathed, and I will actually give you a reward.
What's the catch? 22.
It's a bit too small for me to get in there, and my followers are
fucking stupid.
Drunk groupies?
Incompetent drunken fools.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm okay with that.
I just want to.
Can we still get rid of Thaddeus?
Mima, but he's a little heavy. He's causing me back pain.
Like, so that there is a bit of movement, and you see that there's a cave that leads a bit further down. That's like down that way. But it's at this point in time where you will have the next week or two to decide what you're actually going to do. We're going to stop here because it is now 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to thank everybody for coming. And we're going to start with, why don't you start off there, Nick?
Yeah. So yes. Hi everyone, I'm Nick, and I totally just disassociated for a few seconds because I was trying to think of my Twitter handle. Bluehorn94YT. Catch me tweeting at random convention centers so I can steal their "Don't Touch" placards, or rather find their supplier, which is what I did for the Pennsylvania one.
What are you talking about?
It's beautiful art. I will post it on the Carpe Nerdus page. I swear, it's amazing. Other than that, I'm just here in existence. So I'll pass it off to.
That was so awkward.
Shut up. I feel really bad about myself right now.
Oh no.
Oh, it's okay, Rosie. Guess what? It's your turn.
Rude. Cinder Wizard on Instagram and Cinder Wizard on PS4. I think it's just Cinder Wizard on Switch if you want to catch Pokies or trade Pokies. Yeah, I'll pass it on to Katie, which is the little bear in the middle. With no
Hi,
video.
I'm Katie. If you want to find me, best place to find me is Katie Bugs on Instagram. I don't really do anything else. I'm a loser. But Kevin, your turn.
You can track me down at Evil Sales Ass on Twitter, where I may or may not be active this week. It depends on my mood and how busy I am at work. You can also try us again Sundays and Monday nights, where we run a pair of different games. One is a bit of a classic Curses of the Khans game. The other I'm running groups in Long Saddle, up north of Waterdeep, and things got weird. But other than taking a break for the holidays, we do that every week. So yeah, Derek, let's.
And you can find me at Disposable Idiot on Twitter. That's about where I'm there. That you will also see me on the Sunday night game playing Colt, a halfling monk who likes to punch stuff, yes, but also has a finer, more refined side and enjoys mayo and long walks on the beach and punting turtles.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
the punting turtles part. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Not any turtles, but very specific turtles.
If you want to get me in the mood,
Yeah.
slather me in mayo and find me on the beach.
Yeah. Oh, that's egg based. That's gross.
Yeah. So, I think we might, as far as this game goes, we will be taking kind of a little bit of a break in a couple of weeks due to holidays. We may meet next Friday, but there will be a week or two off after that for sure because of the holidays coming up. So just understand that. But we do plan on coming back after that, refreshed, and we will see how they deal with Death and his little drunk kobold minions.
Indeed.
Thank you, and thanks for coming, and have a good night.
Alrighty, see you all later. Bye.